Greetings, VC. Welcome to TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete albums collection. I'm TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central, and we are up to the middle of the female artists category. Excuse my hair, it's acting up all kinds of different ways from Sunday today. We left off on the last show with partial M's, and I've got more I'm going to start with. This show should go much quicker because although it does dip into the next cube because of the series that's going to conclude this one, I'll be going through these more rapidly because a lot of them, I have a lot of songs by particular artists. There's a lot of groups of females that I have several albums by, as you will see. Okay, let's start with the M's. We ended with the early M's. I forgot what was the last one. I think actually we stopped with Lulu, so we're starting with the M's at the very beginning. And I have three fantastic albums by someone I know people don't like, but I thought she gave great music in the mid-70s, and I love all three of these albums. This is Mary McGregor, In Your Eyes. This is one of the later albums. It includes her versions of Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight, I've Never Been to Me, a number of other things. This was her 78 album. All of Mary's are on Areola, if I'm not mistaken. This is Torn Between Two Lovers, which features that single. And I believe this also has her version of the wedding song on it. I'm not sure. No, that must have been on one of the later. This Girl Has Turned Into a Woman was the follow-up single on that one. Oh, the wedding song, I guess there's one more album I'm missing. I thought I had all of her stuff, but I don't see the wedding song on this one either. It's because I have the single. I've heard it do. I mean, Captain Tennille are the ones that are best known for it in the 70s. This is simply titled Mary McGregor. This was on RSO, and this features her second and final top 40 hit, Good Friend, from the film Meatballs. Also, Dancing Like Lovers was an AC hit for her. A lot of good stuff on here. I like Mary. I thought she was terrific. Next up, my Melissa Manchester collection. This is huge. I had two or three of her albums before, and since joining the vinyl community, I went and got more of them. Melissa Manchester is one of those perfect voices for mid-70s stuff. Doesn't have to be, ballad or up-tempo. She can do it all, and shows it off on all of these. This is Better Days and Happy Endings, and I'm trying to figure out, I got to keep them in right order here. This is from 1976. There weren't any huge hits off this, although Just You and I was a modest hit on both the AC and the pop chart, but it's got a lot of great stuff on it. Melissa Manchester, Bright Eyes. This is from early in her career. This is one of those that's still on Bell before they changed over to Arista, like the first Barry Manilow album. This had her first, I'm not sure if this was the first one or if the other one was the first one, but this has a song called Bright Eyes, which is not the song you're thinking of if you're thinking of Art Garfunkel. That's from Watership Down. That's 5 years later. She didn't really have any big hits on this, off this album, but it was serving to introduce her to the public. I think her biggest hit prior to the 80s was the title track from Don't Cry Out Loud. It was a monster hit on the pop chart. This also has, let me see if that's on here. I get confused because I've only listened to them 2 or 3 times. And no, okay. No other singles I see off this that I'm aware of. Great album, though. I do remember, it's a terrific album. Then there is Help Is on the Way. This is from 1976 as well. Had some AC action for different songs. But again, she's mostly an album artist, and if you're listening to the whole album, That's great. This was her monster hit from the 80s. Hey Ricky features You Should Hear What He Talk what he said. What is it? You Should Hear How She Talks About You, which was a top, I think, hit number 3. Hey Ricky was also a single. This also includes her marvelous rendition of Come In From the Rain. Yeah, this is the original, and this is actually a reissue because it's on Arista. This is Home to Myself. This was her first album, came out in 1973. She had a couple of access hits on this, minor, but other than that, it's a great, great album. This was Emergency. I believe this was her final Arista album from 1983. Um, Features City Nights, which she performed when she did a guest shot on Fame. And there's a couple other singles on here. And Emergency, the title track, was also a hit. There is Melissa. This is the album that broke her through with Midnight Blue. And I believe Just Too Many People is on this one also. Let me double check here. No, I Got Eyes is on this one. Just Too Many People must have been on the next one. This is an excellent album. Love it. I always loved it. And this was her MCA debut, Mathematics. It came in the early 80s. No big hits off here, although Mathematics, Energy, and Restless Love, and maybe Thunder in the Night were all singles. And finally, she did this album on an Arista in the was this the 70s? Yeah, this was from, I'm trying to figure out the year on this one because I forget when it came out. I didn't have it until I bought it from Record Crate, but it's, I believe it came out in 79? 77, sorry. This is Singin'. These are all standards, pop standards at the time. She does Sad Eyes, I Want to Be Where You Are, Stand. A lot of great stuff that was out there. Okay. Next grouping, most of these are onesies or twosies. Barbara Mandrell and Love is Fair. This, I believe, I can't see because it's pink on pink. This has her hit single Crackers on it. You can eat crackers in my bed at any time. And her great duet of He's Out of My Life, which is the Michael Jackson song done as a duet from his first album. She had Sometime, Somewhere, Somehow was also a big country and AC hit off this. Great album. Bobby Martin, For the Love of Him, picked this up from Record Crate, I believe. Possibly from Dawn. Always loved that song. The whole album is very much like that and terrific. She was one of the best vocalists. I always thought for the longest time she was Dean Martin's daughter. She's not, so I don't know. Marilyn McCoo and her solo album Solid Gold. I got suckered into this. There is a song called Solid Gold at the top of side 1, as hope you can see. And I figured since she was hosting that it was the theme song. It's not. It's an original song called Solid Gold. But the rest of the album is terrific. It did feature the single Heart Stop Beating in Time, and her and Billy Davis Jr., her husband's incredible version of I Believe in You and Me, which was around by several artists at the time, but their duet was mind-blowingly good. Well worth it in the end. I had this on CD for years, and I got it from Black Box on vinyl. Reba McEntire and Read My Mind. This was the 20th. It's the tuna and it has a new 2019 live recording of And Still on it also, but was the first time it was released on vinyl, the 25th anniversary. So that would have put it at, I believe it came out in 1990, so 2005. What, 2015? Something like that. And this is, of course, got Read My Mind on it. It's got She Thinks His Name Was John, and Still. Absolutely dynamite album. Kind of went gung-ho on picking up a couple of things. I'd still like to get more. There's more she has from Maureen McGovern. This is The Morning After that has the song from the Poseidon Adventure on it. I know it's one of Steve Carlson's favorite songs. I don't think there were any other singles off this. This is when she was on 20th Century Fox. She spent the first couple of years of her career. It's also the only... Is that the only album? No, she's blonde on the second album, too. This one has Morning After and her version of I Won't Last a Day Without You. And I don't have my lamp anymore over here. I think those are the only singles off here, and the other ones are off the second album, which is this one, Nice to Be Around, which comes from Cinderella Liberty. And I don't know, did they include We May Never Love Like This Again on her? I don't think they did. I think that was strictly on the Towering Inferno soundtrack. No. Great album, though. I got this. This is a promo, white label promo. And is, if you're into her, fine. She had one hit, a Christian hit, but it was still a really great version for the 70s. This is Sister Janet Mead in The Lord's Prayer. And as you see, white label. Has her own versions of some of classic hymns and such, done to a rock beat. She was fantastic. She passed away 2 or 3 years ago. Wonderful, wonderful person from what I can tell. Bette Midler, this came with a poster. This was... Oh, which one is this? This is the one with... There's no big hits off this except her version of In the Mood. Although she did her version of Higher and Higher on this too. But it is a terrific album. And if you like Bette, you'll love this. This puts it, In the Mood puts it at 74. And it comes with the poster. And I believe that came from Record Crate. Kylie Minogue, and Kylie from 1986 features her version of The Locomotion, which was a bona fide hit here. Also, I Should Be So Lucky, which was sort of a minor hit here. She's always had better luck in Europe and Australia than she's had here in the States. This I picked up because I had a chance to. I know it's a critically acclaimed album, and I had never heard it. So I ordered it and listened to it. Woman is incredible on this, and I understand why it is her most critically acclaimed album. Joni Mitchell and Blue. No hit singles on this, but she's best known. A lot of her tracks on this are very well known. And if you've never heard it, you should listen to it at least once. Everybody should listen to it at least once if they've never heard it. Alison Moyet and Alf. This is the debut solo album from her. I have everything she's done on CD. This is the only vinyl I have. It includes Invisible and Love Resurrection. And All Cried Out. I love this woman. I've adored her since this album came out. She was Adele from the 80s. Maria Moldauer and her self-titled debut album. I bought this strictly to piss off my mom, who absolutely loathed Midnight at the Oasis. But I ended up loving the whole album. She does a great version of Dolly Parton's In My Tennessee Mountain Home. She does another great song, I Never Did Sing You a Love Song, which was later covered by Bonnie Tyler also, if I'm not mistaken. And Long Hard Climb, which had been released around the same time by Helen Reddy. Great, great album. I'm so glad that I actually did like it. And I like this I picked up finally a couple years ago. This was the follow-up album, Waitress at a Donut Shop. Includes her cover of I'm a Woman, which was a top 20 hit in 1970, late 74, early 75. And a lot of other great songs that some are original, some great covers. She is an incredible vocalist and never did get her due with pop audiences. I went back and picked up the 3 biggies when I had a chance. I always had the singles, but when Record Crate had them for $3 each and they're in great shape, I grabbed them. Juice Newton, this is Dirty Looks. This album has Tell Her No on it, and I think Stranger at My Door was the second single. This was the third album that she had in a string, and it wasn't as big a hit as the first two. As you can see, it's a promo. This was the big one. Juice from Juice Newton. Angel of the Morning is on here. Queen of Hearts is on here. Sweetest Thing is on here. Great stuff. And the one that came in between, what's it called? Quiet Lies. Love's Been a Little Bit Hard on Me, which is one of my favorite songs by her. Break It to Me Gently, her terrific cover of that. This whole album is just, they're all three excellent albums. All right, let's get into Olivia. I have been an Olivia Newton-John fan since I was a kid. I love everything. I had only had 3 or 4 of her albums, though, and I went back and bought a bunch of them when Record Crate was having their sales, and I bought a couple other places, too. And she never did bad stuff, and a lot of them were singles and filler covers, but, you know, that's how business operated back in 70, 72, 73, 74. This is Come On Over from 1976. It has her version of Jolene on it, Come On Over, and is that the only single that came off here? I think it is. Yeah, it is the only single that came off this. Her version of Green Sleeves, her version of Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. Terrific stuff. Don't Stop Believin', which is 77, I believe. Includes the title track. Also has Sam, which is one of my favorite songs that didn't do all that well for her. It was a bigger hit on the AC chart than on the pop chart. And I'll Bet You a Kangaroo, which is a cute little song also. Have You Never Been Mellow? This is one of the ones I had since I was a kid. It has I Honestly Love You and, no, that's on the prior one. This has Have You Never Been Mellow and Please Mr. Please on it. And her version of I Never Did Sing You a Love Song. Everybody seems that they were doing that at the time. Her original, no, that's wrong. This is the second one. If You Love Me, Let Me Know. This is the one with I Honestly Love You on it, as well as the title track. And there's something all over the sleeve. Blah. Her cover of, is this the one? No, I'm going to look here. God Only Knows is on here, which I think she does a great job with. Most of the rest of the stuff, though, was pretty new to me, so I don't know if it was new to everybody, but I thought it was well done. She was still in her country pop phase here, as she was on this album. This was her debut in America, Let Me Be There. Included Let Me Be There, and her covers of Bee and Bobby McGee, Banks of the Ohio. If Not For You was also a single, the first single, but it wasn't as big a hit. And it had actually been a hit a year earlier. Angel of the Morning, Take Me Home Country Roads. It's all cover stuff, but it's really good. It's Olivia. She's never bad. I have not opened this yet because I didn't need to. I had the CD, and I figured I'd just keep it in pristine shape. One of these days I'll probably crack it open and listen to it, but I have the CD and I always love it, and if there's anybody that doesn't know it, it also has a poster with it, so that'll keep it nice. This is the 40th anniversary limited edition of Physical. This was re-released on vinyl in 2021, and of course everybody knows Physical, so it has Landslide, Make a Move on Me, Physical, the Promise, which was a minor hit because it was a dolphin song. They used it in several movies, nature movies and stuff. So this is going to stay sealed for a while because I already know it. I listen to it all the time on CD. This album did not impress me, and I'm sorry to say that that's terrible. This is probably the last major hit she had was on here. Minor hit. It wasn't even a major hit. This is Soul Kiss from 1985. Features Soul Kiss, the title track. It does feature a great duet called You Were Great, How Was It with Carl Wilson. The rest of the album, I mean, look at that album cover. Ugh. It's not bad, but it was by far not her best. This one is Totally Hot. This is another one that I've known all the way through. I never bought it on vinyl until recently. I did have the CD. This has Totally Hot, Little More Love, and Deeper Than the Night on it. Also includes her marvelous rendition of Eric Carmen's Boats Against the Current. Love that one. And that will take care of Olivia. Also picked this up from Dawn last year. This is Laura Nero and Nested. This is a white label. I think it's a white label promo. I don't know if it's white label or not. Let me see. Yep, white label promo. Never played until I played it, I don't think. Or very, very gently played. Laura Nero, best known as a songwriter, of course. She wrote Stony End, which became a big hit for Barbra Streisand. She did some other stuff. Really terrific stuff, and a great album all the way around. Let me see if I'm right about the next. Okay, one more segment here with some twosies and threesies. Jane Oliver, another artist I grew to adore in the 70s. Thanks to her cover. She did a lot of cover stuff. She was mostly a cabaret singer. I ended up getting 2 copies of one of the albums, and which, oh no, it got mixed up. No, it didn't. Okay, I don't. Oh, actually, did I actually? Oh, that's the one I got 2 copies. I think I had 2 copies of one. I thought it was the other one. I'm an idiot. She did 4 albums overall. Got all 4 of them. She's terrific. The Best Side of Goodbye. This was from 70. Is this the 78 one? I gotta look at what's on here to know which album it is. Again, the print is killing me. Let me turn on my light. I hope that's not causing too much problems. It doesn't look like it is. Yeah, there were no big hit singles on here, but she does some great stuff. Man-Child Lullaby, Love This Time, Weeping Willows, Cattails, The Greatest Love of All, which is her cover of what was then George Benson's song. Whitney hadn't yet taken it over as the definitive version yet. Great stuff. Just checking the singles on the tracks on this. She has if you're not familiar with Jane Oliver, it's an acquired taste. She has a very unusual voice, still very fantastic though. This is Chasing Rainbows, the one that has I'm Always Chasing Rainbows on it. Also has her version of the French Waltz and her version of Come In From the Rain, which is just amazing. A lot of female artists were doing that in the late 70s. First Night, this was the first album she did. And I believe, is it? Okay, do I have them backwards again? I always get backwards on the titles. Let's see. Yeah, this is the first one. This one was the album that came through. Her cover of Vincent is on here. Eventually, on reissue, this included her version of Some Enchanted Evening. Originally, when the album was released, it wasn't originally on there. It came as a single with the album, which I've never seen, so it didn't last very long. This is the other copy I have of that. I already have 2 because I got this from Dawn as part of a package, so I took it. Come Softly to Me is on here. Her version of Vincent, which is just mind-blowingly good. Love this. And my favorite album, Stay the Night, from 1978. This features her version of He's So Fine. She did battle with Christy and Jimmy McNichol in the summer of 78 for the supremacy of He's So Fine. Jane's version is a ballad, and it's really well done. If you've never heard it, it's worth it. This whole album is excellent. And I don't think the duet she did is on here. She did a duet with Johnny Mathis at one time. I think that's only on one of Johnny's albums. But awesome stuff. I love Jane Oliver, and She is not. She retired officially a few years ago. She's just marvelous. Um, Professor Carlson's favorite female vocalist, Marie Osmond. This is In My Little Corner of the World, which is her second album, features In My Little Corner of the World and a couple of other tracks. Her debut album, Marie Osmond, which features Paper Roses, her top 10 pop and #1 country single. I don't understand why you don't like this album, Professor. It's just so right up your alley. I have an older, that's the older copy, my copy, original copy. This is a newer copy and it's in better shape that I picked up from, I believe this came from Dawn too, might have been Record Crate. This is The Way That I Feel. This is my favorite album by her from 1977. She was more pop here than country. Includes the title track, Play the Music Loud, and a great version of Please Tell Him I Said Hello, which had been a minor hit for two other people in 1975. I always loved that song. Who's Sorry Now from 1975 features her version of Who's Sorry Now, and Among My Souvenirs, both Connie Francis hits that were singles for her. And from the 80s, I did grab this. This is Marie Osmond, I Only Wanted You. Features her hit duet with Paul Davis, You're Still New to Me, and a lot of great mid-80s country stuff. And now, we shall commence with the Dolly Parton. Some of these you're going to see twice because they are part of the color Vinyl Me Parton, which we're going to do here in a second. These are the ones that I've always had. I have been a monster Dolly Parton fan since, oh gosh, I can't tell you. I think I was second, third grade. Jolene, so for fifth grade, when Jolene came out. I don't have everything. Good Lord, I couldn't if she was releasing 3, 4, 5 albums a year. But I have a lot of the stuff other than that. Got this in the cutout bin. It's got a really weird cutout notch there. This is Burlap and Satin, which is from 1982 or 83, features her #1 Kirkham Report hit, Potential New Boyfriend. Also, mostly original. She has a couple that she recorded here from other people, but it's mostly Dolly's fantastic songwriting. Dolly, Dolly, Dolly from 1981, no, 80, featuring, no, that's it, that's right, 81. No, 80, because 81 is 9 to 5. Features Starting Over Again, which was written by Donna Summer and Bruce Sedano. Old Flames Can't Hold a Candle to You, her version of You're the Only One That I Ever Needed, so obviously Cheryl Ladd's was first. As I said on the last show, I wasn't sure which one it was. And Even a Fool Would Let Go, and a great version of I Knew You When. Love this album. This I picked up during the Vinyl Me Parton, but it was not part of it. They were offering it, though, and this is from Vinyl Me Please. For God and Country, this is Dolly. A lot of these, this was done 2023 is when it was released. It is numbered 1425 out of 2000. It is all patriotic songs and fantastic. You're the Only One comes from Great Balls of Fire. You're the Only One was the big hit on here, along with Sweet Summer Lovin' and It's Not My Affair Anymore, all big hits. Love her cover of the Beatles' Help on this. Heartbreak Express from 1982, I believe. Do I Ever Cross Your Mind was her biggest hit off this album, but none of these really clicked on the pop charts. Single Women almost hit the top 40, but not quite. Great, great album. My favorite Dolly album, hands down, Heartbreaker. This album is fantastic. From 1977, it includes the title track, I Really Got the Feeling, and Baby I'm Burning, which I used the disco dance version on Disco Party. All these other great songs too. My favorite Dolly album. Here You Come Again featured her first major pop crossover with Here You Come Again, #3 hit in 77. It's All Wrong But It's All Right was also a country hit. Two Doors Down hit all the charts, depending on where it was on the chart. Second favorite album, easily Dolly, 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs from 1981. It includes the title track from 9 to 5, Working Girl, which was a second single, But You Know I Love You, which hit the country chart, and The House of the Rising Sun, which was a disco version that she charted on the disco chart with. Fantastic stuff. Rainbow. I picked this up from Columbia House at the time I was a member. I didn't really know all of the stuff on here, but man, I love Dump the Dude and her duet with Smokey Robinson, I Love You by Heart. Great stuff. This is the only Dolly album I have of all of the originals that comes on Columbia. She had switched labels in the mid 80s. And, of course, I couldn't go and not pick up the album which she did in tribute of being nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is Rockstar from 2023. It is a box set, 3 albums. It has a booklet, 3 vinyl discs, and I got the hype sticker in here too. I love her cover of Magic Man with Ann Wilson. I love her version of is it Wrecking Ball she did with Miley? She did one of them with Miley. Miley, remember, is her goddaughter. Miley Cyrus is her goddaughter. And she picked somebody on a lot of these to do, but she also did some original stuff. And the song World on Fire, which comes off this, mind-blowingly good. Now, that's all the regular Dolly. Let's do the Dolly Me Partons. Excuse me, Vinyl Me Partons. Vinyl Me Parton ran in 2022, I believe, and it ran for 12 months. They selected, Dolly was working with Vinyl Me Please, and she picked 12 of her best or favorite albums to release under the Vinyl Me Parton label. I did review them as they came through on the Kirkham Report. We're going to do these in the order they were released. This is going way back. My Tennessee Mountain Home, produced on Smoky Mountain Galaxy vinyl. This was one of her earliest hit albums. As you can see, the tracks here, including the title track, of course, but Old Black Kettle, The Letter, Down on Music Row, In the Good Old Days When Times Were Bad, and all those earlier hits from her. The second release was Little Sparrow. This was from 2001 and is considered her rootsy comeback album. I had never heard this until I got this, and it is phenomenal. Third, it came with a Dolly bandana. This is Blue Smoke. This is her bluegrass album. I forget what year it came out. I want to say 2006. I'd only heard a couple of songs off this, but man, fantastic. I'm not taking them out of the protective sleeve. And it comes with a bandana and a Vinyl Me Please thing there. This was, just because I'm a woman, I believe this was Dolly's first solo album. I'm not sure. It does talk a lot about the foreword. It was originally released in 1968. The foreword. The note on the back is from Porter Wagner, who she was a regular on his show. It's Dolly at her finest of the older songs. False Eyelashes is on here. You're gonna be sorry. The Bridge. A lot of great stuff. 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs again. This is a deluxe version. It is on Rising Sun. Galaxy vinyl was cut by Ryan Smith of Sterling Sound, and it is a gatefold in this edition. The original is not, and it has some additional artwork on it. The following month, we got Backwoods Barbie. This was also an early 2000s or late 90s release. It came with a Dolly turntable mat, and is fantastic. Yeah, this is the one that's actually Dolly's first solo album. Hello, I'm Dolly features Dumb Blonde. She doesn't look anything like she looks now on that. Dumb Blonde was a modest hit for her. I think Fuel to the Flame was also a hit on the country chart. The breakthrough album for everybody. This is Jolene from 1974. It featured Jolene, I Will Always Love You, and Lonely Coming Down, which was another country hit. Halos and Horns. This is the first time this had ever been released on vinyl. It is on Blue Galaxy vinyl, according to this. Came out in 2003. And again, a lot of great stuff on this. If you're a version of Stairway to Heaven is on this album. If you haven't heard that, it's interesting. It's quite good, but it's interesting. Better Day, excuse me, originally released in 2003 on Dolly's own label. Again, Ryan Smith cutting the lacquer for this. A lot of great stuff that came out then. It was not, I don't think she had a big hit off of it, but Dolly was just great anyway, so it didn't matter. Those Were the Days, which came out in 2023. So this may have been fairly recent at that time. It is on Dolly Records and includes a lot of covers from the late 60s, including Those Were the Days, Blowing in the Wind, 12th of Never, Me and Bobby McGee, Turn, Turn, Turn. A lot of great stuff there. First ever vinyl pressing, so I'm not sure what year it originally came out. And finally, she concluded Vinyl Me Parton with New Harvest First Gathering. This had her big hit, Light of a Clear Blue Morning, on it. Applejack, one of her best-known album tracks, is on there. 1976 or 77, I believe. Absolutely great. And the Vinyl Me Parton series was so worth the money. The recordings are awesome. The sound quality is incredible. The colored vinyl is cool. The extras I got with the turntable mat and the bandana and stuff were very cool. Dolly, thank you for giving us these. And that is going to wrap up this week's this episode of this show. Put these back over here. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll continue to watch this series where I'm going through all my albums. We'll conclude the female artist with the next show, and I hope that you will be watching that in another couple of days or so. It should be along, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and if you can, support us through our GoFundMe or through any of our other means, which you've seen on screen as we've gone through this. And don't forget, we have merch. And for TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete album collection, I am TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central, wishing you a great week, and I will see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.